Hi guys, I'm Shmee. Hello and welcome back to the channel where today you join me to film with this spectacularly menacing Corvette ZR1. Or actually, given I'm in the USA, I should probably say ZR1. Well, this is the new car that belongs to Mike from Streetspeed717. Now, Mike and I have been talking for a while, and given my tour out here in the USA has brought me pretty close to where he's based, we're meeting up then today to film a video with this, as well as talk about the car he's just ordered, the brand new C8 generation Corvette Stingray. So let's catch up with Mike then, check this out and go out for a drive. All right then, here we are, joined by Mike. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm very good. It is amazing that we are finally able to meet up. We've been talking for a while, so here we are.
We're here, and I just want to say real quick for the vlog, I'm sorry if I'm awkward. I've been watching your videos for like 7 years, and getting to meet you is a pretty big deal. Very humble.
No way.
So thank you so much for reaching out. It's awesome.
My pleasure entirely. I mean, I've been watching your stuff, especially with the Corvettes, also with your McLarens. Really interesting channel. You're approaching 1 million subscribers now as well, aren't you?
Getting there, like 913, but who's counting? You know,
that's pretty crazy if you ask me. And this is brand new.
Yep.
How long have you had it?
I've had this car for only about 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yep.
So, I mean, that's, but it's not your first ZR1.
Not my first ZR1.
How many? Okay, tell me about it. Your Corvette story. This is a bit about your Corvette story.
So I started out with a base model C7 manual. Actually had an automatic before that, then a manual one for a while on the channel. Yep. Then upgraded to the Z06, automatic and manual, and then upgraded to the ZR1, manual and automatic. And that brings me to where I am now. So big Corvette guy.
Big Corvette guy. Hence why when you saw the new one the other day, what were you thinking?
Oh my gosh. Well, I immediately knew I had to buy one.
Okay.
And I watched your video, seen it up close. I mean, it's really mind-blowing. I mean, I was kind of nervous about going mid-engine, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, completely different to this.
Yeah, very different. And I think they pulled it off really well. And then they got to the end and he said, you know, base price under 60,000, and it was just mind blown.
Yeah,
like, I don't know how they can even sell that car for that money and make anything, but
I mean, it's a bit of a different proposition to this. This, correct me if I'm wrong, is 755 brake?
Yes, yep, 755.
Is this stock? Is this
this is
the factory?
It does have a Corsa X pipe on it, but that's it, you know, stock tuning and everything like that. So just deletes the secondary cats.
So it's going to sound insane when we hear it in a moment.
Yeah.
I always loved the way, if we can open up the bonnet, how it kind of lifts up around the sides and you get that carbon section staying in the center.
Yeah, you get a whole giant hole in the hood.
Which is, it's just cool. It's just really cool. And this is it full carbon, the bonnet? Yes, it is. Exposed carbon. Who doesn't love some exposed carbon? That thing is a monster. But of course, they've gone from the engine being there to being there for the C8, which is a very different thing. They were saying, I mean, you heard it as well in the launch, that basically they reached the limits with this in terms of performance. They needed to move the engine to make it possible to get any more. But this is, I mean, this is the last hurrah of the C7, isn't it? It's the top of the line.
Pinnacle of front engine Corvettes.
And you've got full track pack, full carbon, everything?
Yep, so this has ZTK, which is gives you the big front splitter, the big spoiler, and normally this actually has the side winglets on here.
Yep.
I took those off just because they're a giant rock trap when you're traveling a lot, which I do.
Okay.
Like rocks get stuck in there and then chip it up, but yeah, it's the full aero package and all that good stuff.
Yeah, and I've very unfriendly made you leave in the rain earlier today to get the car a little bit dirty.
No, hey, it was beautiful up here.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? This is like, I don't know, 95 degrees or something Fahrenheit, like 30 degrees something Celsius. And earlier you were driving in the rain not too far away. This thing is a complete beast. Can we hear it?
Yes.
Can we get a sound check? Should we close down the hood first?
Sure.
Gosh, I've become all American. I said hood.
The hood, I know.
We call it a bonnet. That happened like
for like a week.
That did without even really thinking about it. I'm becoming Americanized. Of course, the tips in the center. Let's take a listen. What a beast. What a beast. That is such a good sound. Even the startup, it just has that deep, proper grumble. Yeah. Let's hear a little bit if you don't mind. Still putting a smile on your face?
Oh my God, every time I drive it.
I don't blame you. Right, I think I should come round and jump on board. In a second, we will go out for a little drive to experience this. But it's very different actually. Obviously, I was just looking at the C8. I've driven a few of the C7s before and seen the interior, but it's very, very different.
Very different.
But even this, I mean, the Corvette has always been obtainable supercar. I imagine there's quite a markup for a ZR1 over the top of a base Stingray. God,
Yeah.
that hood in here is nuts.
So this one, even for this generation, so this ZR1 is like 140,000, which is definitely, I mean, the base model for the Stingray, the C7 Stingray starts at about like mid to high 40s. So it's definitely a lot more, and I expect for the C8 generation that the ZR1 version will be even more of a leap. It'll probably be like 160, 170, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
But I think it'll still be relatively affordable for what performance you're going to get.
And just quickly on the shifter here,
Here, I'll put the,
I like that it says 8-speed.
Yeah, not sure why. It's like the Doug DeMuro said it's like they're advertising like, ooh, 8-speed. You don't see that in many cars where it tells you the number of gears. But
No, I mean in an automatic. Is it a normal auto or?
Yep. So it's a torque converter auto, not a dual clutch.
Whereas the C8 has the dual clutch.
Yep.
Which is, I mean, the fact that the new C8 is a mid-engine supercar with a dual clutch gearbox, with adaptive suspension, active suspension, with the kind of tech that it offers as well. It's a no-brainer. I'm kind of jealous actually, because we're not going to get it in Europe for sure.
It's going to be a couple years late, isn't it?
Yeah, we'll have a year or two to wait, and then when it does arrive, it's going to cost a bomb more. What I didn't know is that you could have the full clear roof.
So I actually have the carbon roof, which is what you've probably seen before, and then they sell these called the dual roof package.
Okay.
And you also get the clear one with that. So I use the clear one. It's kind of nice. I will admit though, it gets more hot than the regular roof.
Well, you've got a black car, an all-black car with a clear roof,
and it's like very hot right now. So I'm sorry to do this to you.
Yeah,
I'm putting you in the sweat box here.
The worst possible combo.
Yeah, but it's great for racing.
You can still pop it off even on the ZR1.
Yep.
And put it away.
That comes off
in the trunk. In the boot.
In the boot.
In the boot. And then you've got that ginormous wing behind us. Well, I think in a second, let's head on out and have some fun.
Let's do it.
Even just the gentle grumbles. It's so good.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, it's so nice. The future isn't going to have sounds like this.
Right.
They said at the launch of the C8, it's going to be the only naturally aspirated V8 on the market. The only one.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
I guess they are the last holdout.
It's crazy. Everything else is turbocharged or hybrid or electric. And then this, well, this is just... You want to just hold it in second, don't you?
I know. I was waiting for this bridge here. I was going to give you a sound clip.
Oh, nice.
And the pops you get. It's one of my favorite parts.
Who doesn't love that?
I'll put it back in quiet mode now for the video. I'm sorry. I just had to do that.
So back to drive. So what you have? If I remember right, there are lots of different driving modes in here, aren't there?
There are. So we are in sport right now, which is kind of like, you know, your middle of the road. Like it's sporty, but not anything crazy. And then you can go to touring mode, which
is the calmer mode.
Yeah, and that softens up the suspension. I'm going straight here, right?
Yeah, we'll head on straight.
Sorry, that's probably gonna ruin your video.
No, it's all good.
So you have touring mode, which is your softest setting. You know, shifts are very early. You basically don't even hear the car.
Yeah.
And then sport is the middle of the road, and then you have track, and each one changes the dash, which is pretty cool. Track mode is my favorite by far. You get that big long rev counter like that, which is really neat.
That's really, really cool.
And then
tire temps and everything.
Yeah, it'll hold gears longer and all that good stuff for you.
Yeah, who doesn't like that? So how many, 2,100 on the clock, how many have you done?
That's it, yeah.
You picked this up,
it had 10 miles on when I got it.
Wait, hold on, a couple of weeks, 2,000 miles.
So I drove it back. The big one was North Carolina, which is where I got it.
Yeah.
So that was about 600 miles right there in the first day.
Okay.
And then, you know, I've just been driving it all over the place, like literally all over the place.
I can imagine, to do that so quickly. We're gonna take a left here, I think.
Got it.
2,100 already. That's crazy. So you're just basically a massive, massive fan of these things.
I am, yeah. I love Corvettes, always have. It was my dream car, like my attainable dream car.
Yeah.
I never thought I'd be able to actually buy a McLaren, which of course I did one day, but the Corvette was always like, that I will own one day.
Well, can I give you a bit of a fanboy moment from my side?
Sure.
I know your first video is picking up a Corvette.
It is, yes it is.
That was your first ever video.
That's impressive, you know that.
I do indeed. I know my stuff. Well, I've enjoyed watching and seeing a bit of your story, because also the McLarens, obviously. A big connection to what I like and what I spend a lot of time filming with are McLarens. I've owned 5 of them.
Yeah.
I know obviously you've had 720.
Two, the 570 and the 720.
Okay,
Yeah.
and neither.
600 LT comes in August, which
Okay.
I think I'm going to take delivery of, but I'm not sure yet.
Okay, that's been a big question in recent
Yeah.
videos. So I know that obviously we've talked a little bit about it as well, but 570. What did you do with the 570?
So the 570 was straight piped and tuned.
Yep.
Love that car. I mean, that car was the surprise of a lifetime because that thing was so much faster than the numbers suggest.
Yeah.
You know, when you hear like 570 horsepower, like you wouldn't think it was that fast. That car was faster than anything under like 800 wheel horsepower, just because it was so light, so quick, the transmission and all that.
It just absolutely hauls.
Yeah, and I love that car.
And then the 720?
The 720 was I was expecting that speed.
Yeah.
So it wasn't quite as big of a shock as the 570 was, but I mean, that thing is, I mean, a 720 is unreal. Unreal.
We're going to take the highway entrance just here.
Gotcha.
And the 720, I mean, it's been a pretty big part of your channel, I would say.
Yeah, the 720
it's appeared a lot.
Made a lot of good content with that car, and you know, unfortunately, I ended up modifying it beyond what McLaren would have liked. You know, McLaren had the car set up pretty well from the factory, and I think McLaren's going forward. I'll probably leave. They do an exhaust or something.
Okay.
But yeah,
so much tech in those things.
Yeah, they're so impressive cars, and they're so light, which is why they're just unbelievably fast. And that's what attracted me to the brand, and I've been a McLaren lover ever since, really.
So you know what you got to do now? You got to drop some gears.
We got to do it?
Yeah, we got to drop some gears.
Here we are on the highway.
We are going to take the first exit though. Oh, wow.
Never gets old. Honestly, it never gets old.
I'm just amazed by these cracks that come out from behind. This thing's nuts. Oh, okay, hold on. But the snap as well, and we're going to take the right as well here. The snap it makes on the shifts. This is a beast.
It's pretty fun. It's not as quick as that dual clutch, but when it gets up there and it knows it has to work, then it's pretty quick.
I mean, it's going to be interesting actually to see what the new one does in terms of gearbox, how it interacts with the engine, how the suspension handles. I mean, it's the first time for Chevy making the Corvette.
It's a lot of firsts. I mean, in that car.
Big time.
A lot of them.
We're going to take this right here. It's a lot of firsts in one car.
It is.
It's had an incredible reaction.
I've never seen so many people talk about getting a Corvette. I mean, people that I've never even heard them say the word Corvette before. One. So.
Yeah, everybody does, and I think us in Europe are also a little bit jealous about when it's going to be arriving on our shores. But we're going to be heading just back in here where we started a moment ago. But I think it's really, really impressive what they've done. Obviously, they've been working on it a long time. You've seen all the spy cars. You know, they've driven them around a lot. They've not been discreet about it in the slightest.
Yeah, I've been following this for like 2 years.
Yeah, literally. You've probably owned about 10 million Corvettes since they first used the mid-engine one.
Definitely.
Something like that. Well, somewhere, I think, just around the corner is my American car as well.
Yes, it is.
Hopefully. Yeah, there it is.
And I mean, congrats on that, too.
Thank you.
It is. I mean, pictures, if you guys see this car in person, video and pictures do not do it justice at all. Like, not even. It's so much wider and lower. But
it's also all the aero parts.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, this car has aero in a sense that people understand. You know, big front splitter, ginormous rear wing. The GT's aero is what's going on inside it, like under the buttresses.
Well, when it was up, sorry to interrupt, but when it was up on the lift, I took a peek through that corner, and you can see through the side to the front of the car. It's amazing. Like incredible.
Absolutely amazing. Well, this has been pretty epic to enjoy listening to be completely honest. I'm going to take a step outside. No, actually, I'm probably going to stay in the air conditioning for another moment longer, because outside, that sun is not exactly our friend, but I've thoroughly enjoyed catching up with you, and congratulations on your success with your channel. Congratulations on this, your new car.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations also on the new one, the C8.
To you as well, and I expect to see a C8 on your channel in about,
I'm sure. Well,
about
I tell you
2
what,
years, maybe.
If I've not driven one before you get yours, I'll fly out and we'll come.
Please do. I'd love to take you out, and we'll go to my home base where I know all the good roads.
That sounds like a plan to me. Well, thank you very much. I'm going to pop your links down below, guys. If you want to go over and follow Mike if you don't already, links to YouTube and Instagram and the like down below. But yeah, epic. Great to catch up with you, and we'll see you guys again very soon. Cheers.